Question. Yes.
Are the suffering related to the sin? For example, I mean, loss of money. They have to be related to some particular acts of life. What is the cure? Or is there any particular cure?
Sure. There's in general, tshuva is different things. So what is tshuva? Tshuva, different things have different tshuva. So Rabbi Akiva says that the tshuva is bigger than tzedakah, but sometimes tzedakah is necessary for tshuva. Sometimes tzedakah is necessary for tshuva. Meaning, if someone, for example, took money that doesn't belong to them, whether it's because they overcharged a client and they stole money that way, or they just took money out of somebody else's account that didn't belong to them, or they stole a deal. There's many, many ways to steal. Unfortunately, today, in today's world, a lot of businesses that look like honest businesses are outright legal ways to steal. Legal ways to steal. Many lawyers that are supposed to fight for the honesty of the law are the biggest thieves in the world themselves. When you spend, you'd say, oh, how do you know? When you spend $500,000 on lawyers, you get to know lawyers. And most of them are thieves. I think all of them, but I'm going to give kaf zchut to the ones I don't know. The ones I know, every single one of them, without an exception, every single one of them is a thief. Every single one of them. Whether it's for IRS, or it's for regulation, or it's for business deals, or it's for whatever it is, whatever you want, one after another, thieves. Why? They charge you for time you didn't use. They talk to you about they talk to you about nonsense and they charge you as if they're talking to you about business. And so on and so forth. I'll spare you my complaints. The point being is that there are many businesses that have a front, that look like honest, but they're outright highway robbery. So someone that stole, the Torah says that person cannot enter Gan Eden. Why? Even if they kept Shabbat and they laid tefillin, they learned Torah and they did everything, they stole $50 from somebody. $50, not a lot of money. It's not even dinner today. $50. They go up to Gan Eden for their Shabbat, for their tefillin, for the Torah that they learned, for the zivug, for everything that they did. They go up to Gan Eden, say, oh, do not enter. What do you mean do not enter? I kept Shabbat, I kept everything. He goes, yeah, you have blood on your hands. The money you stole is considered blood on your hands. You have to come back in a Gilgul, in a reincarnation, to pay back the $50 you stole. To who? The guy you stole it from. Meaning that if the guy you stole it from did not forgive you, he has to also come back. One of the stories of the Baal Shem Tov one time comes to one of his students and he says to his student, listen, I want to buy this horse from you. I want to buy a horse from you. He says, look, for the Rav, anything for you. He goes, okay, I want this specific horse right here. The guy starts crying hysterical. He says, Kvod Rav, I have 500 horses. You have to dafka pick this one? Dafka, you have to pick this one? Pick anyone else. Anyone else. Kvod Rav, I don't want to go against my Rav, but please pick a different horse. He goes, no, I want this horse. Baal Shem Tov had Ruach HaKodesh. He says, I want this horse. The guy is crying, goes, Kvod Rav, please don't take this horse from me. He's the best worker I have. All the other horses, I have to feed them, I have to bathe them, I have to clean them, I have to do everything just to get them to work. This one asks me for work. He doesn't stop working. I have to convince him to stop working. Such a good horse. If I sell him to you, he's not going to work for me anymore. Because I want dafka this horse. Says, you're the Rav, what can I do? You want the horse? Okay, here's the horse. Take the horse. Because you sell it to me. Sell it to you. And then the Baal Shem Tov says to him, he goes, did you have a friend that died recently? Somebody that maybe owed you some money? He says, yeah, the guy from down the road, 30 minutes down the road, was a good friend of mine, and we did some business together, but he owed me 300 zuz, owed me $300. And he died, he didn't pay me back. But it's no big deal. He goes, but if the fact that he didn't pay you back, I mean, do you forgive him? Or are you upset that You're upset that he didn't pay you back. No, I mean, we were friends for 20 years. No big deal he didn't pay me $300. It's no big deal. We made money together. We did good together. Whatever. He died. It's his fault he died. Miskin. I have to be mad at him. On top of him dying, you have to be mad at him? No, I forgive him. He goes, no, for sure you forgive him? He goes, Kvod Harav. Of course I forgive him. He says, say you forgive him. He says, Machul lecha, machul lecha, machul lecha. I forgive him, I forgive him, I forgive him. If you forgive somebody, you say, Machul lecha. Forgive him, I forgive him, I forgive him. He said those 3 words, the horse died. The guy had a heart attack almost. He says, what just happened? He says, your friend, I knew his neshama was inside the horse. His neshama had to come back in a gilgul, in the horse, and pay you back the $300 he didn't pay you back. And he couldn't fix his tikkun until he either worked for you, until he paid you back, or until you said you forgive. That's why I wanted this horse. But I couldn't do this unless I bought the horse from you. Unless it became my horse. So now, Rabotai, when a person has theft on his hands, sometimes the theft is things that he knows. So you know you stole from somebody. You know you did something wrong to somebody. You have to pay him back. You have to pay him back. If you have the money to pay him back, then pay him back right away. Why? Because you think that you're going to get away with stealing $50,000, $60,000, $70,000 from somebody, and he doesn't care because he's a millionaire. You're going to show up to Shamayim with all of your mitzvot. You're going to say, stay outside. Do not enter. Why? You have blood on your hands. For $60, for $300, people come back. Imagine for $60,000. Do not enter. So if you have the money, pay it back as soon as possible. Do not wait. Do not negotiate. Pay. Pay as soon as possible. Now, if you took from somebody you don't know, guy disappeared, and you made honest effort to find out who and what and when. You made honest effort. You made some phone calls. You wrote some letters. You sent some emails. The guy disappeared. The ground swallowed him like Korach. You don't know where this guy is. You took him. You don't know. He was a customer. He was somebody. You don't know who he is. It was some deal you did 15 years ago, and you know that you took an extra $1,000 you shouldn't have taken. The blood's still on your hands. Problem is, you can't pay it back. So what do? You take the $1,000 and you give it tzedakah. Take the $1,000, you give it to tzedakah. Why? In Shamayim, number one, they see that you honestly were looking for the person, but that doesn't pass go yet. Pass go is you still have to return it, just not to the same party. Hashem's going to worry. He's going to manage that money is going to get to the destination. But either way, you give it for tzedakah. Tzedakah can be to somebody that's needy. It could be for Torah, it could be for an avrech, it could be for kiruv, it could be for different things. But give it to tzedakah. Don't give it to your wife. Your wife is not tzedakah. Your wife is not tzedakah. Unless you're poor. Unless you're poor, it's a different story. But the point being is that you have to give the money back. You have to give the money back. So if you did something dishonest, it's okay. You can still do tshuva for it. There's no problems. That also relates to people that are converts. Now, when someone converts, the Rambam says that the person that converts is considered a brand new baby. Meaning that their new birthday becomes the day they dipped in the mikveh. The day they dipped in the mikveh, the brand new baby, that's their new birthday. You don't celebrate your secular Christian birthday anymore. You celebrate that day you dipped in the mikveh as your new birthday. Your old birthday is completely unrelated to you. It's like for a different person. And your life begins anew from that day. You're a baby, fixed, 0 sins, except sins that you can fix. Why? If you committed some type of crime in the past, you worshipped an idol in the past, you can't fix it. But that's not connected to the new soul. It's not connected to the new soul. If someone stole, on the other hand, even though the sin itself of stealing is not connected to the new soul, you still have to give it back. Why? Because a new sin may be formed out of it as a chilul Hashem. Where people will say, oh, look, this guy stole $1,000, now he converts and he pretends he's not the same guy. See, these Jews are thieves. Now they're going to blame all of Judaism for your stealing from when you were still not a Jew. So now it goes from stealing to chilul Hashem. You went from nevelah to trefa. You went from one to the worst. So if it's stealing, you can fix it. And you have to fix it. Even if after you converted, even though it's technically still not the same sin. But if it's a sin that you can't fix it. It's not related to you anymore. It's related to an old neshama. Not connected to you anymore. But nonetheless, the point is that you can do tshuva for everything. There's different things have different tikkunim. Stealing, you have to give it back to the person or to the company. If you can't, you have to give it as tzedakah. If it's wasting seed, there's a certain tshuva for that as well. You have to give 84. The Arizal says you have to fast 84 times for each time that you actually committed the sin. Some say 84 times only once. Some say do it 84 times pretty much for every time you committed the sin, which means permanently. What's 84 fast? You're going to fast 84 times? I don't think so. Unless you're the Arizal. Since you're not the Arizal, you're not going to fast 84 times. So what do? You give tzedakah that's worth 84 meals. So if each meal for you, I don't know, is $10, just number's sake, then you have to give $840. How often? As often as you possibly can to fix that sin for each time. So a lot of people that are really serious about the Zman HaShovavim, which is right now, the parasha that we're reading is about the tikkun of the Shovavim. A lot of people like to do different things to fix the Pgam Abrit, fix the wasting seed that they've done before. So a lot of people do the easy tikkun. What's the easy tikkun? The easy tikkun of fixing your brit is reading Tikkun HaKlali. Rabbi Nachman Breslev took a certain set of Tehillim, of Psalms, and said you read these and you fix your brit. But what they didn't read is the rest of what he wrote, the rest of what it said. What's the rest of what he said? That's just a certain part of it. It's just the first part of tshuva. Just like tshuva has 4 parts, this is part 1. This is part 1. What is the other parts of tshuva? The other parts of tshuva is the fast that the Arizal said, the 84 fasts. Which means that a lot of money has to leave your bank account and enter someone else's bank account in order for you to fix that sin. That's just a reality. So get used to it. And again, it's not easy. It's not easy. But even that is not enough. Even that is not enough. Why is it not enough? Why is it not enough? Because that fixes a sin that you made to a certain extent. But the reality is, we all know that if you did it once, you did it twice. You did it twice, you did it 4 times. You did it 4 times, you did it 8, 9, 12, 50, 100,000. Who knows how many times? The reality is that even if you give $840 a month, it's still not going to be enough. This is why the ultimate way to fix the big sins, Chilul Shabbat, Pgam Abrit, all of these major big sins, is to get other people to do tshuva. Other people to do tshuva. And the reason why is because when you did one tikkun, okay, you did one tikkun, $840. I don't know how rich you are, but how many times can you do that? Even if you're a millionaire, it's probably still not enough to take care of your teenage years. So how many times can you do it? So now, on the other hand, if you take one CD, costs you $1, you give it to somebody, you don't even have to talk about Pgam Abrit. You just tell him, listen to this. He gets to lecture number 5 on the CD that we have, CD number 2. He realizes that he has himself a problem. He's been wasting seed for 15 years, and he only realized today it's a problem. He stops. Every single time you have a person that stops wasting seed, each time he would have done it, it's as if you did tshuva for one of the times you did it. Which means he actually stopped. Now for the next 20 years, that's 20 years worth of tshuva for you. Now you don't know who's going to do, who's not going to do, so you take that the few dollars, you take $100, take $2,000, take $2 million, whatever you have. You get people to do tshuva, you arrange a lecture, you give CDs, you do do it for free. I don't care. It's not some bias that I have. Trust me, I don't have a monopoly on the wasting seed market. You have links for free. You give it to people. Here, free link, watch this lecture. Why? It's really good. Why? You probably have this problem. Why? Trust me, you do. If you're an adult male, you have this problem. He watches the lecture, he realizes that he has an atomic bomb inside his house. There's an atomic bomb. He just realized that right now he has an atomic bomb. He does tshuva. You fixed yourself. For a certain amount of time, but you don't know how long he's going to go. You don't know how long if he's going to do. So you keep going. You keep sending. You keep doing as much as you possibly can. to get as many people as possible to do tshuva. And that's a much more difficult tikkun than tikkun klali that Rabbi Nachman Breslev said, but that's the real tikkun. That's the real tikkun. Get other people to stop. Of course, there are certain things that you can do. You can go to, there's certain Kabbalistic things that if you lived in Yerushalayim, you would go to the Batei Knesset of the Mekubalim. There's a few Mekubalim still in the world that you go to the Beit Knesset, and during certain parts of their tefillah, they say certain kavanot and certain names, and you listen to it, and you make sure that you tell them to have you in mind, and that fixes part of the klipa. Since this is really not relevant to 99% of the world, I'm telling you the basic, easiest version to do it. Get other people to do tshuva. You want to go to Yerushalayim to fix something, good luck. But it's much easier to give somebody a CD or a link. Much easier. So that, Rabotai, for all those people that are worried about fixing their brit, you can do it. You can do it. It's not impossible. But you can't sit on your hands and expect it to be fixed. Can't sit on your hands and expect it to be fixed. So if tshuva for stealing is one thing. Tshuva for wasting seed is one thing. Tshuva for violating Shabbat, same thing as wasting seed. Every time, even though you keep Shabbat right now, Baruch Hashem, it's very good, but it doesn't make up for the 5, 10, 20, 30 years you violated Shabbat. You show up to Shamayim with a deficit. They say, okay, thank you very much for keeping Shabbat, good for you, but you still didn't keep Shabbat for 10 years. Somebody has to pay. Somebody has to pay. You get somebody to keep Shabbat, they kept Shabbat for 10 years, boom, he paid. You paid your balance. So doing kiruv is the best way to get people to do tshuva. This is one of the biggest motivators for very, very difficult industry, very difficult business. So getting people to do tshuva is a big thing. And again, there's other sins that you do. It depends on the sin. You ask me the sin, I'll tell you how to do tshuva for it. But in general, the ultimate way, that's like a one-size-fits-all, is to get people to do tshuva. Next question. Question, girls in the back? Question? Debating the question?
Maybe it's having nice dreams.
Anybody? So, finish? Okay, so, Bezat Hashem, we're going to have another shiur on Tuesday night, Bezat Hashem, in the Aventura, in the Breslev Center. We're going to talk more about Parasha, on Pirkei Avot, and a few other things. And in the meantime, take everything that we said to heart. Tshuva is not easy, but it's not impossible either. The fact that you have the ability to do tshuva, the fact that you're actually here, and you're listening to the shiur means that you have some zchuyot in Shamayim. Because 99% of the population will never hear such a shiur. Most people can go to shiurei Torah for 20 years and never know the significance of tshuva, never even know that they have to do tshuva. Most people can live their whole life going to shiurei Torah, going to Rabbanim, reading books, reading this, reading that, never realizing they're the problem. They have to do tshuva. Obviously, if you're here, you're listening to the shiur, you're listening to the emet, you have some zchuyot in Shamayim, but having some zchuyot is just a ticket. You still have to use it. You still have to use it. There's still something that you're doing that Hashem wants you to do tshuva for. Whether it's intermarriage, or it's Shabbat, or it's wasting seed, or it's your eyes, or it's your this, or it's your that, or it's your kids, or it's your wife, or it's your neighbor, or it's your dog, or it's your cat, something. You have to do tshuva for something. We learned a lot of things today. Shchiat Shema, tshuva, a lot of different things, conversions, and so on. You have to take some of this stuff, take it to heart, take it seriously, and B'ezrat Hashem, we do tshuva.
I have one question.
Oh.
It just popped up. It's something I saw. There's a guy was talking, he made different videos online, but he was talking about self-conversion.
Self-conversion?
Yeah.
What do you mean self-conversion?
Like somebody would convert himself if he lives in a country where there are no rabbanim, no baptism, nothing, and he discovers the truth, that Judaism is it, and he wants to come close to Hashem, but he's unable to do so. And he says this is an option. It's not something that is popular, but nonetheless it's an option.
Is this a serious question?
It is.
So Torah says that if someone declares himself a Navi, if someone declares himself a prophet, and they're not a prophet, you have to kill them. Okay? Someone declares themselves a prophet, and they're not a prophet, you have to kill them. Now, Torah that we have comes from Hashem, who gave us His words through prophets. Which means that if someone adds something to the Torah, adds a law to the Torah, he's not only declaring himself a prophet, but he's declaring that everyone else is not a prophet. He's above and beyond being a Navi Shekel. He's worse than a Navi Shekel. He's worse than a false prophet. He's someone who's a false prophet that added something to the Torah. So, there's no such thing as someone just declares themselves as Jewish. There's no such thing. That's just a new law that people that are spiritually lazy declared for themselves to fit their inconvenience. In order to do conversion, you have to follow halakha. Halakha is you have to go in front of a bet din. The bet din has to be comprised of kosher Jews. It cannot just be anyone, like some people think. It must be kosher Jews. This is the reason why conversion to reform or conservative batei din are not acceptable, according to halakha, according to the Torah. This is also why conversion to some people that no one knows and no one heard of and who knows if they're kosher or not is also not acceptable according to halakha, because you don't know whether to judge them as kosher people or not, because you yourself can't judge them as a non-Jew. So conversion could only be done through a certified, recognized bet din, because that way you know that this bet din, according to common knowledge, obviously no one's going to know the cheshbonot of Shamayim other than God, but according to common knowledge, this is a kosher bet din. These are kosher people, and they know the law. They know the intricacies of the law. Now I'll give you an example of what it means to know the intricacies of the law, because some people think, no, it's just about money. No, it's how difficult really is it. I'll tell you what it is. One time someone came to me and he says, I want to get married. He's a student of mine, former student of mine. I want to get married. And I helped him a little bit with different things, whatever. Long story short, he said, I want to get married. I said, okay, Baruch Hashem, you want to get married, this is good. We just have to make sure you get a good rabbi to be the rabbi that does the chuppah and kiddushim. And he says, no, I have a rabbi. I have a rabbi. He's going to do chuppah and kiddushim. Like, who's the rabbi? And he says, oh, it's the rabbi so-and-so, which I know from my own experience, the guy's a rasha. Now, if I start screaming to everybody, this is rasha, everybody's a rasha, then no one's going to believe it. They're going to think I'm a boy's crying wolf. So I'm trying to figure out how do I get this guy out of this hole that he's in a nice way. Because the guy, he says, is going to be a rabbi for chuppah and kiddushin. He's a wicked person. You don't want that to be the person that does chuppah and kiddushin. So I say, is he certified to do chuppah and kiddushin? Because this is one of the things you actually have to have a certification. To give shiurim, you don't need a certification. There's no certification to be a rabbi to teach. But if you want to be a shochet, you want to be a slaughterer, you have to have a certification, rabbinical certification. You want to do chuppah and kiddushin, you have to have certification. You want to do girushin, getim, you have to have certification. Be a judge for different business disputes, you have to have certification for certain things. To check tarat mishpacha, a woman that sees different spots in her area when she's checking for clean days or and so on, and she has certain spots she doesn't know if it's blood from the uterus or it's blood from an injury. She has to take it to an expert. She has to take it to a rabbi. It's an expert that can tell the difference in blood from that part of the body or blood from an injury. Now you can't just take it to the local butcher and say, what blood is this? You can't take it to the dentist. You have to take it to somebody that's an expert. You need a certification. And so on and so forth. Certain things you have, certain things you don't. Chuppah and kiddushin happens to be one of the things that has to be a certification. You have to be beki, meaning an expert in the issue. And he tells the guy, he's like, you have a certification? He says, nah, you don't need it. You don't need it. I know. I did weddings, he says. I did weddings. I know how to do it. What do you do? What's the big deal? You guys wear a bit of chuppah? What's the big deal? Gotta read from book. You say amen. Finished. Ketubah is already made. You can buy it online for $5. You put the names, even for free. You can print it. Ketubah, for free. You put the names. You read from a siddur. Finished. What's the big deal? Does anybody know the big deal? Why do you need a certification to just what? To print something off? If you were talking about 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 100 years ago, you need a certification. Why? Ketubah there was no internet. Siddur, maybe you didn't have a siddur. Maybe there was one siddur in the entire town and it wasn't yours. Who knows? But today, with the internet, with Rabbi Google, who needs it? Rabotai, I learned something from the story that was life-changing. The guy says, the rabbi says, you don't need it. I know everything. I know everything. I give you a wedding. And I, just, mamash, days before the wedding, he's going with this other guy. I asked him, I said, this rabbi, did you show him your get? Did you show him your get from your previous marriage? The get. Because he was married before. You have to have a get. Because if you don't have a get, you can't get married again. So I said, did you show him the get from your previous marriage? He says, oh, no, he didn't even ask. He didn't ask me if I was married before Bechlal. He didn't ask me if I was married. I said, you know, without him having the get, seeing in his eyes that you're allowed to be married, he can now cause for you to bring a mamzer to the world. Because you're married. Maybe your wife was married, and so on, he could bring a mamzer to the world. No, I know everything, the guy says. The rabbi says the guy doesn't even know he has to ask for a get. Because you were married before. He doesn't know anything. He's going to put the wedding, he's going to tell you to put the wedding ring on a woman that you're not allowed to touch. You're about to commit adultery. You're about to do things you're not allowed to. But the guy, no, I know everything. I did weddings before. Shem Echem, we did weddings for Miskinim. So, there's certain things that you can do. There's certain things you can't do. You need to know. Now, when it comes to conversion, you must know there's a law. There's an halakha. There's a bet din. The bet din has to be kosher people. Not just by somebody says that. You have to be kosher people. They have to know the law. Who, what, when, and how. And they ask you questions. And as a procedure, if you can't do it because you live in Zimbabwe, or you live in Tahiti, or you live in some place that's surrounded by idols, and you can't convert, then you can't convert. I'm sorry. What can I tell you? Get on a ship, get on a plane, get on a chopper, get on a dinosaur or something, and come to America, or go to Israel, and go there. If you can't do it, then Hashem doesn't want you to convert. You can't blame the rabbis for something you can't do. It has nothing to do with money. It has to do with the law that was written in Mount Sinai 3,300 years ago. You don't like it, you don't want to be a Jew anyway. So for all of those people that are trying to take the law into their own hands, and they decide they have a Jewish soul, they decide they're going to convert themselves, they decide themselves, these people, Baruch Hashem, that Hashem is not allowing them to convert. Baruch Hashem. Why? Because they would be a problem. Now I saw some people online, and you see them taking pictures of each other and themselves and so on, and you see their exterior with the beards and the hats and the tzitziot outside, and they're celebrating Shabbat, they're celebrating Sukkot, and all this stuff, and they're not even Jewish bichlal. And they talk to you in lingo, oh yeah, the Arizal said this, and this one said this, and that one said this, and the klipa, and they're all into Kabbalah, by the way. They don't know what Arizal actually means, but they say Arizal, like it's saying Tzvika. People throw names and throw terms and throw different things like it's nothing, like it's no big deal. They don't even have the minimum requirement for Yirat Shamayim, minimum requirement for Yirat Torah. That's why Hashem is not allowing them to convert. Anyone that even thinks to themselves in their own mind for a second that they're going to convert on their own without using a bed din, Baruch Hashem, that they will never convert. Be'ezrat Hashem, they'll never convert. Why? There will be a problem child. We have enough problems. We have enough problems. You want to convert, you have to comply with the Torah. You want to make a new Torah, go make a new religion somewhere else, in your own island or something, with the dinosaurs. Don't make a new Torah for us. We have one Torah, that's it. You don't like it, go somewhere else. There's no exceptions being made. There's no new laws. We can't add, we can't subtract. You don't like it, too bad. You don't like it, too bad. What can I tell you? It's not, listen, people like to go against me. Oh, you're saying that non-Jews can't keep Shabbat. You're this and you're that. I'm the number one advocate for converts. Nobody loves converts more than I do. Nobody helps converts more than I do. And I do it all for free. To say I'm against it is like retarded. But I'm not going to distort the Torah for you. I'm not going to change the Torah for you. There's a way to do it. There's a way not to do it. I'm not going to change the Torah for you. So, people, you want to convert? Baruch haba. Come. We want you. Only if you're righteous, not if you're looking to change the law. If you're looking to change the law, go change the law on your own. It's going to go away anyway. Those people don't survive anyway. They don't survive anyway. They pretend to be Jewish for a little while, eventually realize that they can't be Jewish. Why? They don't really like it. They just like the looks. It's like, like a certain style, like a certain jacket. Or, back in the day, when I was a little kid, there was this band called Crisscross. Crisscross. There's these two cute kids that they wore their pants backwards. They wore their pants backwards. You guys are probably too young. I don't even know who these people are. But anyway, there was like hip-hop when hip-hop started pretty much 30 years ago, 20-something years ago. They wore their pants backwards. And everybody, white, black, yellow, green, everybody started wearing their pants backwards. Do you see anybody wearing their pants backwards now? No. Why? Style faded away. Same thing with a lot of styles. With the hat sideways, with the hat this way, the hat that way, the beards, this. Everybody did styles. That stuff goes away. When your Judaism is an exterior-based religion, when it's just your looks, the moment you have a test, it's gone. Even if you're a natural-born Jew, even if you're this, even if you fooled everyone, you cannot fool God. Eventually, He's going to give you a test. It's going to demolish your building just like He demolished the Tower of Babel. So why put yourself in front of it? Either be real or go away. Do tshuva. Tshuva is mamash key to success. It's a cure for all ailments. It's a cure for all ailments, but not if it's based on a lie. Not if your entire Judaism is based on just you liking to wear the tzitzit outside. Or you like to wear the hat, or you like to grow facial hair. That doesn't make you Jewish. Or you like to cover your hair with a mitpachad. That doesn't make you Jewish. Arabs also cover their hair with a mitpachad. They also have facial hair. They also have facial hair. So if the Arabs, ISIS was coming to you and says, hey, you're Jewish, with the facial hair and the kippah, you say you're Jewish? No, I'm an Arab like you. The minute ISIS comes to you, you're still going to say you're Jewish? No, I'm not Jewish. I'm really Christian, but I like the way they look. I'm really this. Jewish is inside, Rabotai. Jewish is inside. Jewish is based on your ma'asim tovim, your acts. Are you learning Torah non-stop? Are you doing what the Torah says? If you're creating new laws because you don't like this, and you don't like that, and you don't like the way this, you don't like the way that, stay where you are. Be a righteous Noahide. Good luck to you. What's the problem? What's the problem? As a righteous Noahide, you have Gan Eden. As a fake Jew, you have eternal Gehenom. Righteous Noahide, Gan Eden. Olam haba. Fake Jew, eternal Gehenom. Doesn't end. Why be a fake Jew? Because fake Jew, like the one without a conversion or converted himself, that's a person that created a new religion. That's a person that created a new religion. And a non-Jew that sins, there's no like tshuva and after. That's it, finished. Whatever Hashem gave him as piece of him gets taken out, the rest of it gets destroyed. So why? Why be fake? For what? Be a righteous Noahide, or convert. Don't be in between. Don't be for what? What do you do? That's why it shows that anybody that still thinks that way hasn't learned a little bit of Torah. Instead of learning 5 books of Moses, instead of learning the basics, what do they learn? The mystical stuff that's far away from everyone. They learn about klipot. Everybody knows about klipa. No one knows what it actually means, klipa, but everyone knows the word klipa. Oh yeah, I'm making all these sins because of my klipa. What? Your klipa? How do you know what klipa is? You know Shema Yisrael? You know Alei Tefillin? You know halachot Shabbat? You know halachot of kosher? You know how to make something kosher? You know how to do shchita properly? What do you know? You know klipa? Where'd you learn klipa? Oh no, I heard it from some Kabbalistic article or some lecture. Why are you learning that? Klipa in Psalms? No, they don't write it that way.
No, they sing it.
Oh, they sing it. Skinny. What could I tell you? So the point is that Rabotai, to go to the far, far away mystical aspects of the Torah is not helping you do tshuva. What's going to help you do tshuva is learning musar, learning how to become a decent human being, learning the basics, learn the 5 books of Moses, learn what Rashi says, learn what Rambam says, learn halachot, learn the basics. All the mystical stuff, you leave it for the mystical people. If you want to spend 5 minutes here and there on it, fine, enjoy. 5 minutes. But that's assuming you have 8 hours worth of basics. If you have an hour to study and 20 minutes of it is spent on mystical stuff, you're wasting your time. It's not going to help you. It's not going to help. I'm telling you outright, it's not going to help you. You can go and waste your time if you want. It's not going to help you learn what the Arizal says. It's not going to help you in any way. It's not connected to your neshama right now. You don't even know basics. You don't know how to keep your basics. Which shoe to put on yet. You need to know basic level stuff. How not to be angry. Does anybody here know? And I'm not trying to make fun of everyone. I'm including myself. Does anybody here know how at the moment you have the biggest test in your life? I don't know, whatever your test is. Money, your wife, your husband, your dog, whatever. At the minute the one big test in your life happened, that is like the trigger point, that would want to make you like jump off a bridge, happens. How? Instead of being angry, you're actually happy. Can anyone do that here? Not only you're not angry, you become happy. Can one person say, yeah, I do that all the time. Can one person say, the minute that I'm supposed to get angry, I get really happy. Bemet happy, not fake happy, like haha, but you're crazy. You're gonna kill everybody 5 minutes later. Like we're much happy. Can anyone do that? Yeah, ha, you want to kill everybody? I'm going to kill all of you. Kill all of you, yeah. Now I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about much happy, bemet happy inside. Can anybody do that? We're still angry all the time, right? So until we control basic midah of anger, leave Arizal alone in his world with Rabbi Akiva, Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai. Leave them alone. Let's study basics. Let's learn how to control our midot. Let's show how we can learn the basics of how to survive as human beings, control our ego, control our pockets, and so on and so forth. B'ezrat Hashem. Do tshuva. You do tshuva, you have nothing to worry about. Baruch Adonai Leolam. Amen ve'amen.